Hey guys, Baddies Midwest, episode 16. And if you're watching this on TikTok, make sure you follow me on TikTok and also subscribe to my YouTube. So Jayla's still going off on Summer. It's clear that Summer really got under Jayla's skin. And Tinkerbella agreed with Summer and said, Summer is summering like no other. And we all know Jayla got a broomstick up her ass, but that's what makes Jayla unique. So Tinkerbella just tried to look at it in a positive light, but she basically said, girl, you are kind of stuck up. You're not really that friendly or welcoming. But I honestly feel like Jayla was already on edge and just felt like she needed to turn up because of the conversation that she had with Natalie about her fading into the background and stuff, which is why she got put up for elimination, even though she's supposedly Natalie's best friend. Jayla told Summer she's the big dog over here and Summer's just getting started. And Summer said, yeah, and you too comfortable. Oop, not you too comfortable and you faded into the background like Natalie said, and Summer clocking it. So Natalie already told Jayla this, but then she decides to tell everybody, like, the club we're going to tonight has a boxing ring in the middle of it. And Jayla was like, yeah, Summer, so put your sneakers on because I'm whooping your ass. And Natalie was like, yeah, y'all going to fight in the boxing ring and whoever loses is going to go home. So the OGs are on their bus and the newbies are on their bus. And Jasmine is like, all I'm anticipating is seeing Summer get her ass whooped tonight. So Lex basically said that she felt like Jayla had a whole different energy with Summer. She was like, when me and Jayla went at it, I don't feel like she was as barky like the way she was yelling at Summer. Which is true. Like, she was barking on Summer because I feel like Jayla knew she could whoop Summer. Jayla wasn't so sure about whooping Lex. But I feel like Dolly understands Jayla more because she basically said what I feel. She was like, Jayla don't really be ducking no smoke, but she one of them bougie hard ass hoes. She not really friendly. So like, she don't talk that much. And like, she really don't go back and forth usually with people too much. Like, as far as the screaming and the yelling, she'll rather just fight. And, she'll throw her digs. Like, she argues very well and will throw her shade and read somebody. But the screaming was new. Only time I really remember seeing Jayla doing all that screaming and yelling like that was when they ruined her and the Claremont twins stuff on BGC 14 and when Gretchen said the N-word. And Lex was like, yeah, I'll give her credit for that. Jayla does stand on business, but I be seeing her say she never lost a fight. She ain't win them all either, which is true. It's not like Lex whooped Jayla yet, because they said it's coming. They said Lex is going to whoop Jayla real good by the end of the season. But the fight that we saw them have, it was basically a tie, and they didn't really hit each other. So you can't say you won that fight. Nobody won or lost that fight. Nobody won or lost the fight she had with Ivory either. Back on the OG bus, Jayla basically confirmed, I'm respectful, I'm nice, I'll say hello, and I speak to the newbies when we see them. I might drop a few gems here and there, but I don't have to be overly friendly. I'm not a friendly person. I choose who I want to be that close to. And honestly, I relate to Jayla with a lot of this because I'm not the friendliest person. So a lot of people feel like I'm standoffish. I've heard that a lot. It is what it is. The people I like, I talk to them all the time. We get close, like they know me. You know what I mean? I don't have to be open and friendly and nice to everybody. I don't know what people been through and how they've been burned in past friendships and relationships. And I know with Jayla, she definitely has with the stuff we've seen her go through on reality TV, with Natalie, with the girls on BGC 14 and more. So we see all the girls getting ready to go to Element for this boxing match and club hosting. And Summer is excited. She's ready, supposedly, right? Because I'm like, girl, we all know you're going to lose. Do you know you're going to lose, or are you that delusional? So Pretty P says she put her sneakers and her two-piece on just in case an op try to call her out. I feel like she was talking about Dolly or Tinkerbella. I would have liked to see that. But y'all see my girl Pretty P stay ready so she don't got to get ready. That's my type of girl. So the newbies get on the bus and they're on their way to pick up the OGs. So all the newbies are asking Summer, like, how does she feel? She says she's ready to take this win and get her Baddies chain. Girl, you're out of your mind. She doing an imaginary square up on the bus, looking a mess, talking about she taking this win on her mama. Stop lying on your mom, please. So Nunu was like, who's swinging first? And Summer was like, I always swing first. Always. I'm sure you do because you're trying to get one hit because you don't be getting no other hits. So Summer was like, she really want to fight me because the truth hurts. And Nunu was like, I'm just trying to match what you're saying to what everybody else is saying and what I've seen of Jayla because I haven't seen that. Summer was like, when I came here, I wanted to get to know Jayla, but she's very stuck up. She's very standoffish. And you see that nobody else mentioned wanting to get to know her or said that she was their favorite OG because she doesn't really talk to anybody. And she was like, nobody stuck up for her either. When I said that she was standoffish, nobody really said she wasn't. Nobody said, oh, Jayla's not like that. Don't say that about Jayla, which is true. Not even the OGs. Tinkerbella actually agreed in her confessional. So Nunu asked the other girls, did they feel a way about Jayla? Jasmine and Pretty P both said they liked Jayla. And then Lex was like, well, I'm not the biggest fan of her. Me and her had a situation at the beginning. And Lex said that after her and Jayla fought, Jayla was standoffish. I mean, why wouldn't she be? Y'all never had a conversation to talk it out. Y'all just fought and moved on. So obviously, y'all probably would never be friends unless y'all sit down and really talk about what happened there. So y'all can move on properly. Like, I don't know what Lex really expects from Jayla to her, you know? After y'all fought, you shouldn't expect her to be super friendly to you. That's not realistic. So the OGs came and got on the bus with them, and Natalie was like, oh, all the girls are kumbayaing now, but y'all not going to be kumbayaing when we get where we're going. She's so messy. I'm tired of Natalie. Somebody needs to knock her again. But, you know, I seem to think that they put something in the contracts after E.T. attacked Natalie at the, what was that, Baddies Caribbean reunion? Yeah, I feel like after that, Natalie told Lemmy, you got to change something in those contracts. Because ever since then, I don't think anybody fought Natalie. So the girls get to the club, they're turning up, and Jayla is just like, you know, we're going to have to fight soon. And now I see all these people here in this boxing ring, and I'm just getting kind of nervous. But I'm like, girl, don't be nervous. You know you're going to win. But I feel like Jayla don't really like to fight in front of a lot of people. But it's like, girl, you be fighting in front of small groups of people, and then it airs to millions of viewers. You'll be all right. Baddies love using that song. Watch me do it right. They love using that song in between scenes. But Biggie performed and she was like, I performed my ass off for Natalie. I was jumping all over the place. Y'all know I'm not no skinny girl. So, you know, just saying how she's putting in work for the Baddies franchise. But something is going to happen soon. Tinkerbella jumped in the crowd and started crowd surfing. She said she's having the time of her life. And once again, Jasmine is talking about she looked around and saw that Summer and Jayla weren't on the stage, and she saw that they were heading to the boxing ring. And she's excited because Summer's about to get that ass whooped. Girl, you so happy to see Summer get whooped. Why didn't you do it? Because people said you won that fight when you got your Baddies chain and Summer attacked you or whatever. I feel like y'all should have won again. You need to do more. I hate somebody that's so happy to see somebody get beat up, but they won't beat that person up themselves. So Summer and Jayla are in the ring. They're about to fight, and Biggie and Natalie are on the mic telling the crowd that one of them is going home tonight. I feel like that's a lie. I don't think Summer's going anywhere because she is one of the most talked about newbies, whether you hate her or love her. I feel like for me, it changes from episode to episode, but she definitely remains relevant. And Jayla is an OG and Natalie's best friend. I feel like she's just doing this to shake Jayla up. I don't feel like she's really going to send Jayla home. I feel like if anybody's going to go home, it's going to be Jaden. Because where is she? Like, she's been in some of the scenes this episode, but it's like, girl, you don't be saying nothing, you don't be doing nothing, and your confessionals be boring too, with that hair covering your eye. Summer immediately goes into the fight with her head down, and Jayla tears Summer up. Let's just say Summer is lucky she had that headgear on and that Jayla had those gloves on. Dolly said one thing about Summer, even though she gonna lose, she not gonna give up. And she said that's one type of girl she don't like to fight. Somebody that know they not gonna win, but they gonna keep going and want to keep fighting over and over again. So Natalie asked the crowd who won. When it came to Summer, it sounded like they booed, but they definitely made more noise for Jayla, and Jayla obviously won. And Summer said in her confessional, win, lose, or draw, I ain't going nowhere, bitch. And I agree, because I don't think she's going anywhere. And she said she's still going to get her Baddies chain. Then we see these two random big girls get in the ring. What was that about? I would have much rather see Pretty P versus Dolly or Tinkerbella. Can we keep it on the Baddies? What y'all promised these girls? Y'all told them they was going to get a spot on Baddies Going Wild that y'all know y'all not going to give them or something? But out of those two, they gave it to the girl in the white, which is the girl right here closest to me. So Anna says she left the club early after the boxing match. She walked out. It low-key looked like Summer and Dolly left too. But back inside the club, Natalie's on the mic and she was like, you know, the fans like Stunna Girl and they like her music. She was a part of Baddies. So I told the DJ to drop that shit. So Biggie instantly gets upset and she's like, this woman did one season for you and then she bashed the whole network. Why are you playing her music? Stunna Girl did one season and her impact on her one season amounts to your 4 or 5 seasons, Biggie. And that's crazy. And you know her music is more streamed and more popular than yours. Like Natalie said, it's never personal, it's always business. And anybody who contributed to my platform, I'm going to play their music if the fans want to hear it. So if Natalie is not mad about Stunna Girl crashing out and telling the truth about the stuff she told, then who is Biggie to be mad about it? Stunna Girl didn't even really expose Biggie when she was doing all the dragging. She was mostly exposing Anna, Scotty, Natalie, and them. She wasn't even really talking about Biggie. So what you so mad about? You still mad about the stuff that happened on Baddies West. And the fact that a good amount of the fans don't like you because of everything you did to Stunna Girl on Baddies West. You said yourself, you thought you were bullying Stunna Girl. That's why a lot of us don't like you from day one, myself included. And then had the nerve to be crying and playing victim when people wanted to fight you in later seasons. So Biggie talking about, I've been rocking with you for 4 seasons, respect my boundary and what makes me comfortable. So it makes you that uncomfortable for you to hear Stunna Girl's music and see the fans liking it. She gets under your skin that bad, huh? So Natalie was yelling on the mic and telling Biggie to be ready to get her fat ass whooped tomorrow. Who is she talking to? This, that, and the third. And Tinkerbella was like, Biggie just lost her effing mind. Stunna Girl really got you that pressed? What's good? Because for real, like, girl, you're that mad about something that happened that long ago? And the whole her bashing the network thing didn't even involve you. So we see Biggie leaving while everybody else is still in the club. So the next scene we had was all of the girls getting ready to leave Indianapolis to go to St. Louis. Now, I didn't put the pictures of everybody getting ready, but I did put Akbar's because she just popped up out of nowhere. And I'm like, girl, where have you been the whole episode? I don't think I saw her at all. And they literally just copy and paste her here. Like, what the hell? They literally just keeping Akbar around until Tommy gets there because she serves no other purpose at this point, and Jaden doesn't serve any purpose either. And I'm not even saying that every celebrity guest has to fight. Aubrey was more entertaining than these two because at least her confessionals were funny. Her commentary was funny. They're not even funny. Rolly said that she really enjoyed Indianapolis and she doesn't feel like they spent enough time there, so she'll definitely be back on her own. Biggie said that she's worried about what's going to happen with her and Natalie. She's upset that the world saw them disrespecting each other again when they've been growing since, their relationship in past seasons, because they really didn't get along before and it was starting to seem like they were getting closer, and now this happened. So we see the OGs on their bus heading to the Newbie house, and Biggie was just saying how she wanted to address everything with Natalie amongst the OGs. She was like, I don't feel like we need to address it in front of the newbies. And I have to say, I really agree with Natalie for waiting to do it in front of the newbies. Because first of all, Natalie got to let the newbies know you can't disrespect me like that without any consequences, even if it doesn't mean me fighting you or kicking you off the show. There will be other consequences. And also the same way people always say, if you disrespect me in the public, you got to apologize to me in the public. So Biggie, you decided to get crazy and it ended up with us having a big argument in public. So no, we need to address it in public in front of the whole house and on camera so that the world could see it, because the world saw the whole argument that y'all just had last night in the club that didn't have to happen, that you caused because you're still so upset with Stunna Girl or about Stunna Girl. She triggers you that badly. Jaden said it's typical Biggie shit. She stay worried about the next bitch business. Scotty had these goggles on in this scene. What were those about, Scotty? And Natalie basically said, I didn't know that playing the song was going to get you that upset. I'm not that type of person. I wouldn't have played it if I thought you was going to get that mad about it. But who really gets that mad over hearing somebody's song that you probably hear all over social media anyway? Now, thank you to Jela for stepping up in this scene and ending all of the back and forth. She said at the end of the day, Biggie, you was wrong for addressing Natalie in public, even though your feelings was valid. And in her confessional, she said, if I was a boss, I would make an example out of Biggie too. So I hope she don't take it too personal, because you can't let people think that that's going to fly. But she also said, Natalie, you were wrong because you went on the internet and you did too much and you took it too far. So I guess after they left the club that night, Natalie must have went on the internet popping her shit. So we see Lex, Summer, and Dolly talking, basically giving us a recap of their feelings about what happened last night with Summer versus Jayla, stuff we already know. Pretty P and Nunu come out and join them. Paula said, I'm just trying to see if Summer packing her bags because she definitely got her ass whooped, so she need to go home. Pretty P ready for Summer to go. So Summer and Dolly confirmed that they did leave the club early, and then they saw everything that happened online between Natalie and Biggie. So Lex was like, okay, let me tell y'all what happened because I was there. And everybody basically felt like Biggie was wrong. And why are you so pressed behind Stunna Girl and just her music simply being played? And Summer also said even if Biggie did feel away and she wanted to check Natalie, she should have did that behind closed doors after we got to the money, which is true. And that's basically what Jayla was saying. Like, your feelings was valid, but you shouldn't have addressed Natalie publicly. And that was over some petty shit for real. So Dolly, Summer, Lex, Nunu, and Pretty P go over to sit in like this big circle area where all of the OGs are going to come and meet them. So, they could have their house meeting before they leave Indianapolis to go to St. Louis. And Natalie said the only baddie who won't be attending this meeting is Ivory. She had to go to court and hopefully she'll be back soon. So I guess Ivory will just meet them in the next city. So when they got to the house, they sat down and Natalie was like, does anybody have anything they want to get off their chest? And she said, oh, I have something I want to get off my chest. Biggie, you're being DP'd. She said, you're being demoted, basically. You won't be riding on the jets anymore. You're going to be on the bus with all of the newbies. And you already know, I think Biggie was already staying in the newbie house. So she's basically back to square one. But I will say I do believe Biggie when she said that she don't mind the tour bus. She started on the bus. She has a blast on the bus and she's able to smoke the whole way, the whole journey to the next city. Whereas on the plane, I guess they can't. And Anna was like, I'm coming with you, Biggie, which was good. That was a real friend. And Natalie was like, oh, good, because I was sending you with her anyway. Do I think Natalie was really going to send Anna to the bus without her saying something? No. But I feel like since Anna stood up and was like, no, I'm a ride for my friend, Natalie just had to, try to one up her real quick. So Biggie was like, I feel like sometimes Natalie be trying to do stuff to purposely mess with me. And Natalie was like, nobody has that much control or power over me that I'm going to get that irritated by their song playing. And Summer said, I don't think that you were on Natalie's mind when she played Stunna Girl song. I think it's all in your head. And Natalie was like, yeah, Summer has a point because me and you have been good, Biggie. So Natalie starts low-key making threats. She's like, I could just bring everybody's ops in like at the same time and just have it be a circus. I don't do that. And Scotty was like, Natalie really be picking and choosing because if it was me, she would have a whole nother energy. Basically saying if Scotty had disrespected her like that in public, we already know Natalie would have put her hands on Scotty like she's done plenty of times before. So Scotty was like, I don't know if it's growth or what, but I feel like she's picking and choosing, and I agree. So then Natalie says 2 new people will be riding on the jet today. Tinkerbella, welcome to the Mile High Club, and Lex, welcome to the Mile High Club. Now, Tinkerbella made sense because she is considered an OG now because she already did her 1 season. So I'm assuming if Diamond would have stayed, it would have been Tinkerbella and Diamond. But since Diamond's not here and Anna volunteered to go on the bus, I feel like Natalie tried to be petty. So she gave it to Big Lex because obviously that's the newbie that Anna has the most friction with. Tinkerbella was popping her shit like, oh, I've been in the Mile High Club and you could keep the Mile High Club, ho. But I know you got on that PJ though. So Natalie was like, is there anything else that somebody wants to address? Because there was other stuff that went on. And Rolly said, okay, so what about the boxing match? And Natalie was like, yeah, because one of them was supposed to go home. And Jayla was like, yeah, you said whoever lost goes home. And Summer lost. So what's happening? So Summer and Jayla are going back and forth. And obviously neither one of them are going home. And then Jasmine walks up and Natalie's like, oh, wait. Because where was Jasmine? You're late for the Baddies house meeting. And Jazz said, I was at the post office. Like, girl, back off. Like Tasiki said, seriously, let me know. Is this a cult? Is this jail? She can't be a little bit late to a meeting without you being down her back. So after Jasmine said she was at the post office, Natalie gonna say, you're lying. I feel like you're lying. Why would she be lying about that? And Summer was like, yeah, me too. I feel like she's lying. And Jasmine was like, girl, why are you still here? You got beat up last night. You should be going home. Be happy you're still here and shut your mouth for once. And Jayla was like, I really don't have no problem with Summer for real. And Natalie was like, yeah, and it was so entertaining. We can't send her home. And you could tell Jasmine was mad. And she was like, oh, so all of that was for nothing? Like, girl, you really thought she was going home. Like, she was really mad about it in her confessional. She was like, the next time they say something to me, I'm not going to believe it because it's like the boy who cried wolf. Like, you so mad. Summer is not going nowhere. So then Slim comes walking up and Natalie was like, oh, this is Rolly's assistant? Look at that outfit. What's the dress code, Rolly? Rolly said Slim came in looking like a GTA prostitute. She had on those booty shorts and those thigh-high boots. So Rolly said, as of today, Slim is no longer my assistant. And Slim was like, yeah, I never was your assistant. So Rolly was like, you're fired. And I don't think you understand what that means, honey. Like, you're about to go home, Slim. And she told Natalie to pull up her camera. So Natalie pulled up the camera showing Slim was in the club drinking and dancing and turning up. And Anna chimes in like, oh, you know me, guys. I record everything. So obviously Natalie got the recording from Anna. And Slim was like, yeah, I was out. Why wouldn't I have a good time? And Natalie was like, well, you're completely out of dress code. And Slim was like, well, she just said I'm nobody's assistant, so I'm going to come how I want to come. And Rolly was like, I think she thinks she's a baddie. She is a baddie. She's an OG baddie from Baddie South. So Rolly was like, oh, she thinks it's a joke. She thinks she's not going home. I'm going to let her go to the next city and have her last ride. And when we get there, we're going to have a meeting. So Rolly says she's going to let Slim stay for a little bit longer so she could get more information that she needs. And then she'll know what route she's going to go down. So it's clear that she's going to fight Slim again, to me, from that confessional. That's the reason why she wants it to be a meeting, so she could beat Slim up in front of everybody and send her home. So we see everybody getting on the baddie bus and Biggie's talking about, I look over and see Nunu there. Why is she here? Where did you think she was going to be? She's staying, Biggie. And you got demoted from the PJ. So now you're with everybody. Get over it. So Summer asked, where do Anna and Nunu stand as of now? So Anna and Nunu both agreed that they know they need to have a conversation, but they just feel like they haven't gotten around to it because they've been around too many people and they obviously want to have the conversation in private. So Summer said, I just feel like y'all didn't have to jump her. That was corny. And Nunu was like, respectfully, Biggie, you didn't have to sneak me. Biggie comes out of nowhere talking about, oh, just like your friend snuck me at the reunion. Like, girl, why are you still talking about J.O.? Why are you still talking about something that you did not do nothing about? You still talking about it and mad that J.O. punched you in your face and you ain't do nothing about it. So now you taking it out on Nunu, jumping her because that's her friend? You're a corny bitch, Biggie. You should have popped on J.O. and just took the L. And you could tell Anna basically knew that they was wrong for jumping Nunu. And Biggie was in her confessional like, I don't want to smoke with her. I don't want to chill with her. She need to deal with her business with her dusty ass. And it sounded to me like she was about to say baby daddy, but she cut herself off and she was like, let me shut my mouth. So it definitely seems like Anna and Nunu will probably get to a good place or a cordial place before Nunu and Biggie. So we see all the other girls get into the PJ, and Lex was just saying how she was just watching this show on TV a couple of months ago, and now she's here. She's a baddie. She's riding on the PJ with the OGs. Like, life is just crazy. Natalie was on the PJ talking about she could never put her hands on Biggie. And Scotty sitting right next to her like, girl, you could never put your hands on Biggie. Somebody that you met on Baddies, but you could continuously put your hands on Scotty. Somebody that you knew before Baddies and is supposed to be your best friend. Girl, bye. Tasiki was in her confessional and she said she wasn't sympathizing with Natalie too much because Natalie hurt Biggie's feelings too. And Natalie basically said Biggie has moved down the Baddies ranking. Tinkerbella stepped up. She was up next. And Lex got to join because Anna decided to not ride on the jet with the girls. So Natalie asked Rolly, what are we going to do with Slim? Rolly said, I don't feel like she has any purpose here anymore. And Natalie was like, yeah, you asked me if I want her to be my assistant. Absolutely not. So the episode ends with Rolly saying no more camera time for Slim. She needs to go. Now, next week, episode 17 is going to be a good episode. It's fight night. We got 4 fights lined up. The girls are going to get to St. Louis. Big Lex said this is the best house she thinks they've had so far this season. Natalie, Jayla, and Rolly go to the radio station as OGs to talk to, some people about the show. And Rolly said a lot of the OGs are a problem this season. So I wonder who she's going to be talking about. Then we see Dolly confronting Pretty P, and she was like, you told Emma something I said. And Pretty P was like, oh, so you feel a way about that? They end up fighting. And then Summer is like, okay, so what about me and you, Slim? And Slim and Summer start fighting. We also see Nunu coming out and seeing Anna and Biggie on the balcony. And she's like, I definitely feel a way about getting snuck. And her and Biggie end up fighting. Nunu looked like she was tearing Biggie up. And Anna was just sitting there like, oh, Biggie, Biggie, Biggie. Yeah, because now you can't jump in and your friend is getting tore. Y'all both going to get tore if y'all fight Nunu one-on-one. But Anna, you got a better chance at a one-on-one with Nunu than Biggie do. Then we see Slim, Scotty, and Jasmine playing volleyball. And Jasmine asks Slim what's the status of her and Rolly. Slim says she was never anybody's assistant. And then Rolly comes out and hands Slim a 24-hour eviction notice. Rolly bringing her eviction notices back. You gotta go. And Biggie. And then, of course, Rolly and Slim end up fighting again. So for this week, my least valuable OG is Biggie. If you've been watching me for a while, that's self-explanatory. I'm not the biggest fan of Biggie, period. And I also like Stunna Girl. She's one of my favorite baddies, of all time. And I just feel like Biggie shouldn't be that pressed over nobody or letting nobody have that much power over her that she can't even stand hearing their music be played. But you claim you such a boss and you about getting to the money. But you couldn't control yourself to check Natalie later on about that. My most valuable OG is Jayla. She stood on her principles as far as just being who she is. She said, I'm not going to change who I am. This is my personality. I'm not that friendly. I might be considered a little standoffish. I respect people and I'm nice, but I don't have to overcompensate. I don't have to be super nice to you bitches. And when it comes down to it, if y'all want to get in the ring, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to knock your ass out. And if she don't knock your ass out, it's probably going to be a tie. Jayla really hasn't taken too many L's on baddies, even though I do feel like her hands are overhyped. With this set of girls, with all these baddies where most of them can't fight for real, she does good. My most valuable newbie for this episode is Summer. I said she was very annoying, but a big portion of this episode revolved around her and Jela, and she got whooped for our entertainment. And of course, she did say a few things throughout the episode that did make me laugh. Oh, and another reason that Jayla gets most valuable OG is because of how she checked Biggie and Natalie on the bus and told them they were both wrong and they both played a role in that situation that happened between them. And my least valuable newbie for this week is Jasmine. I said she really was boring again, didn't do much or bring much to the episode as usual. All she did was be excited and have confessionals, being happy and anticipating Summer getting whooped. But you can barely whoop Summer yourself. So that's kind of irritating to me. And that is my review for episode 16 of Baddies Midwest. If you're watching this on TikTok, make sure you follow my TikTok and subscribe to my YouTube. Okay, I'll see y'all next week for episode 17. Bye.